I would say one of my favorite learnings happened right after I was called to this calling, started reading, and learned about an event that happened 100 years ago this year called the Jubilee. And it was a time when they brought in as many of the youth as they could to this place, and they actually shut down the streets and had a parade through the streets, and their slogan back then was 100,000 strong. And I thought how amazing it must have been for those youth to come together and realize they are a part of something that is so big. And I thought to myself, I want to do something like that. It's been 100 years. I want to do something like that. And then I got into this calling, and I've had the opportunity to travel all over the world. And one of the places that we travel to is FSYs all over the world. And last year I had the opportunity to attend the first FSY in Fiji. And for most of those kids, they come from islands. They travel 4 days by boats to get there. It is the first time they had seen more than 4 or 5 Latter-day Saint youth in their lifetime. And I'll never forget sitting underneath this tent there and watching these hundreds of kids that had spent all day long making banners. And they came down for, at FSY, we have a banner parade. And they came marching down with their banners of their statements of truth. And as I watched that happen, I was like, this is it. This is the Jubilee. This is the kids marching down the streets with their banner. If you look on page 88 of this book, you will see 100 years ago, those kids marching down the streets with their banners of truth. And how remarkable that 100 years later, we are replicating that, feeling like you belong to something bigger. We are much bigger than 100,000 strong now. And carrying those banners of who they are and what they stand for is just a remarkable and powerful thing.
What surprised me was the fact that it's so readable. Because we hear scholarly work and they say nowhere else. But it's a historical narrative of key events that cycle back and forth and how they were handled throughout, mingled with personal stories, which is how the Lord would have us teach history currently, the history of the restored church. So I heard somebody say that it would not be on the tabletop or the device of a young woman, but I think it would. They're avid readers, they want to know, and they love history. So that's my surprise, how readable it was.